Welcome back to Learning WooCommerce, Video 2, Adding a Product. And in this video, we're actually going to look at some of the different product settings and options that you have when you're creating a new product. And we'll kind of go through the different categories and see what's available to you. And then, after we sort of go through that part of it, we'll then actually create what's called a simple product. And then in later videos, we'll look at a variable product and some other things as well. Well, with that said, let me go ahead and go to our demo store and check things out there. All right, here we are back at our demo store. And I'm going to scroll down and go back to our simple product. And this is our simple product right here. And I'm just going to click on that. And just so we can look at it in a little bit more detail from the back end, I'm going to go up and edit the product. So I'm going to edit it right up here. There's actually another way that you can get to this through the dashboard, but I'm going to go ahead and edit it from here. Click on that. Okay, and then from here, this is probably going to look pretty familiar to you if you have any experience at all with WordPress. It looks like you're creating a post or a page, and so WooCommerce integrates very well into WordPress in that way, so a lot of the things will probably seem very familiar to you. And starting here at the top, this is where you can add your product title, and that of course then becomes part of the URL. You can of course edit that. So again, very similar to the way that you might create a WordPress post. And then further on down here, this would be the product description. Now I'm just going to go back up and view the product to show you where that comes up in this particular theme. And for most themes, it's going to come up in a product description area down here. So that's where that's coming up. Okay, and go back and edit. And then sort of scrolling down a little bit more, there's actually another area where you may want to put in a shorter description. I'm going to scroll down all the way down towards the bottom. It's called product short description right here. And you type in your short description there, and that comes up. If I go back to view product, right here at the top in this particular theme. Now, there could be some differences between themes, so you may want to test that out a bit. All right, back to edit product. All right, now the main settings are here in the product data area. And you may notice that the product data says simple product. And that's the sort of product that we're looking at right now. And a simple product, as we saw in the first video, you simply have the quantity and you add it to your cart. Whereas that's most typically compared to a variable product, which if I click on this download, you'll see that as an option, a variable product, in which we can, as we saw again in the first video, we can choose, for example, a color and a size, and the price may vary according to the attributes that we choose. And so we'll look at that in more detail later. But right now we're dealing with a simple product. Now there's two other options here. Besides simple and variable, there's a grouped product. And a grouped product, so I'm going to explain it as an example. So let's say that you're selling a furniture set, and that furniture set includes a bed, a desk, and a chair. And they basically go together. They're sort of matching, let's say. But each product is sold separately. You could create a grouped product in such a way that then your customers don't have to go to each individual product separately to add it to their cart. They can add it as a grouped product, and they get all three together. So that's an example of a grouped product. Then we have this external or affiliate product. And in this case, although you're displaying the product in your store, you're not actually selling it directly in your store. So you would be linking out to an affiliate or to an external site. So if you're doing any affiliate marketing and you're not selling it directly, then you may want to link out to your that affiliate to that other site and make the sale that way. But really the two popular methods are probably by far simple product, but variable product is also quite common as well. All right, so moving on, we have a couple of options here. We have a virtual as well as downloadable options right here. And a virtual option is basically something that's not shippable. Um, so it could be a service or something like that. Whereas a downloadable is also not shippable, but um, the customer would get a link where they could download something, such as an MP3 or an ebook or something like that. So you have a couple options there. So if we don't check it off, then basically we're saying it's a shippable product. All right, so moving down to the General tab here, we can see that we have SKU, which stands for Stock Keeping Unit. And if it's not a required field, but you may be keeping track of your products by SKU, and so you may want to enter that in. This is also where you fill in your price. This is the regular price. You can also have a sale price, and we saw that in video 1 where we saw that strike through the regular price. And so if I entered in $80, that would be the sale price. And also, if you wanted to, you could create a schedule for that sale price. So you could say, this sale is going to run from such and such date to such and such date, which is a nice feature. And if you have taxes enabled in WooCommerce settings, and we're going to look at WooCommerce settings in a later video, but you can set up taxes. Is it a taxable or is it what are you taxing? And the tax class, which again, is it standard? Is it a zero rate? Is it some sort of reduced rate? And so you have some options there for setting up taxes. Next tab down is inventory. Click on that. And you can manage your stock in WooCommerce. So if I enabled stock management here, for example, and I gave it a quantity of 10, then then when a customer makes a purchase, the stock will actually reduce. So automatically. So as the customer goes through the checkout process, it will reduce the stock by 1 if they purchased 1, and which is a great way of keeping track of your stock in WooCommerce. Now later on, when we do a variable product, you can see that you can keep track of stock by variation as well. Now you may or may not want to allow back orders. By default, is do not allow. So that'll be up to you. And also, depending on the product, maybe a customer cannot purchase more than one at a time. So for example, the downloadable product, it would be odd if they purchased 2 of the same download. So there are situations where you'd want to enable have your customers be able to purchase one of the product. Moving on to shipping, you can enter in weight and dimensions. This would be particularly important if your shipping is based on weight. There are various extensions that can calculate and help you with shipping, dealing with those sorts of things. There's also a way of setting up shipping classes, and I have a test one set up, but a shipping class is, you may have different shipping based on the product itself. So you may have a very light product that calculates shipping in a certain way, and a heavier product that may cost more to ship, and so you want to calculate those shipping costs differently. You could create what are called shipping classes and then put the product in a class. So, as I mentioned in video 1, you can get very complex with shipping. Out of the box, there are some limitations there, but with a table rate extension or some other extensions that are out there, you can get very complex with shipping, and you may require some lots of different classes, and so you can get very complex with shipping if you'd like. All right. Okay, moving down to linked products. Here you can have a product as an upsell. So on the product's detail page, on that page, on the product page itself, you could have several suggested products. Maybe these are more expensive products that you want. Say, hey, if you're looking at this product, you may want to also look at this other product over here. Whereas with cross-sell, this actually comes up in the cart page. So as if you add this product to the cart, let's say it's some sort of electronic, and as they're checking out, uh, they may see that, oh, hey, don't forget batteries, and you may want to cross-sell those batteries. So that's what that's about. And then we have grouped products. This is related to that group product that we talked about up here. So if you want to make this as part of a group, this is where you do it. Now, attributes, you can give your product various additional attributes, and there's sort of an attributes tab that if you were to add some attributes that the customer could see, and for example, additional dimensions and things like that. However, I would say that this attributes tab really comes into play when we have a variable product. I mean, you can use it as a simple product, but where the real functionality comes into play when we do a variable product, you'll see that we're going to come here to the attributes tab. And so we'll get to that in a later video. Now, moving on to advanced, we can see that we can add a purchase note. This would display to the customer after they purchased a product. Menu order. Now, menu order, you're probably in most cases going to leave to 0. You're going to see later on that we can display products in this shop in different ways, alphabetically, by date, and that sort of thing. So we'll get to that later. And we can also enable reviews or not. If I go back to the product, we see we have a reviews tab, so I can enable that or not. Go back to edit, scroll back down, back to advanced, and that's basically your product data fields. Now there are a few more things I would like to go over, and one of that is the categories here. You can put products into categories and subcategories if you'd like, and that really sort of helps your customers navigate through your shop. You can also add a product tag, and this is a very similar way to the way WordPress posts work. You can put them in categories and then also put tags. And so you can read about the difference in general, reading some of the WordPress stuff that's out there. But basically, categories have a hierarchy. There's parent and children, whereas tags are just, there's no parent and child relationship, just sort of like a list of words, if you want to think of it like that. So it's a way of adding some extra description to a product if need be. Down here, this is where the featured image is, and if I go back up to the product, you'll see that there's a featured image, that main image on the page right here. And you can also add additional images. Now these, in the product gallery, now these additional images will be smaller images that will go underneath the main image. So if you want to have different views of the product, you can upload those images to the gallery, and people can click on that and see the different views of the product as an example. When I create a simple product, we'll actually do that. All right, so that's just some of the basics of setting up a product. I think now we're ready to actually go ahead and create a product. All right, to create a new product, I'm going to go up here to the WordPress dashboard. And when WooCommerce is installed, you'll notice a couple of things here on the left in your dashboard. You're going to notice this WooCommerce tab right here, as well as this products tag and tab. And actually, I'm going to go here, hovering over the products tab. I'm going to add a product. So add product. I'm going to click on that. And I'm going to give my product a title, and I'm not going to be very creative here. I'm just going to call it test product. 1, 2, 3, say that. And here is our product description. Remember that shows up a little bit more towards the bottom. The short description is on the top, which I'll show you in a second, but this is a product description, right? All right. And I'm going to move down a little bit and go ahead and make sure this is a simple product. So I want to create a simple product at this point. It is shippable, so I'm not going to click off virtual or downloadable. And I don't have a SKU, but I, of course, do want to give it a price. I'm going to say it's, let's say $85, right? And it's not on sale. And let's, assuming I have my taxes set up properly on the WooCommerce settings area, I'm going to say it's a taxable product and standard taxing there. And I do want to keep track of inventory for this product in WooCommerce. I'm going to go to inventory. I'm going to say enable stock management at product level, and I have 10 of these, and they are in stock. All right. The other settings, shipping, I'll have a free shipping set up. And again, you can get very complex with shipping, and so depending on what you want to do, you might want to put in a shipping class and this sort of thing, but I'm just going to leave it alone for now. All right, another thing I might want to do is I may want to put it into a category, maybe an existing category, or I could create a new product category. I could create one on the fly just by clicking on here and adding one. Really, categories are managed under the product tab here. If you go to categories, you'll see that all the categories of your store and how it's arranged, and you can manipulate it a bit. But here I can just create one on the fly if I wanted to. But I'm going to actually create one here. I'm going to call it demo. Just a demo category. I won't put it in a parent. Add new. Again, really a good way to, a better practice would really to be create categories here, and that way you're managing it more effectively under the category section. But we can do it here as well. And when I selected it, it automatically selected it under demo. And I could also put a tag or put some tags in as if I wanted to. Not necessary really, unless you want to add some additional searchability and descriptions and that sort of thing. But what you're probably going to want to do is add a featured image for this product. And so I'm going to click on Set Featured Image. This is the main image. And I could upload my file from my computer, let's say. But I have a couple of images in my media library that I want to use. Let's say it's this phone thing here that I want to sell. Click on that. And I do want to make sure that I set the featured image here. All right. Now, a couple of notes, and you may be wondering about the size of the image. In WooCommerce settings, you can set the featured image size, as well as the size in the shop is called the catalog, and thumbnails and things like that. And you can set it to do a hard crop or have it resize and do different things. So one thing that I'll recommend is that you don't have to necessarily fit your image to the featured image size specifications, because it will resize it. WooCommerce will resize it. But that said, you do want to be consistent with your with the size of your images, meaning that if you're going to put in an image size of 400 by 600, then you want to be consistent in uploading that same image size for all your products. Even though WooCommerce is resizing it, you just don't want a lot of odd things happening, so it's better to be consistent is the main point. So I've uploaded my featured image, and I can also add in these sort of secondary images. It's called the product gallery. As you're going to see in a second, I can put smaller images under my main image on the product detail page, and that could be used for sort of different views of the product, for example, or so you can do different things with that. So I can I'll add one. You can add several, of course. And I'm going to add this one right here. Okay. And I also don't want to forget to add this product short description here before I leave, and that's that description more towards the top. I'll even write so you can see it better. Okay. And when you are done filling everything in, don't forget, very similar to, again, as the feel is probably very similar to, or should be familiar to you because it's a WordPress function in creating a post or a page, but you don't want to forget to hit publish. All right. So we've created a simple product, and I'm going to view the product right here. I'm going to just click on that to view it. And there it is. And so there's the title, right? This is the product short description. Oop, product short description right here. I am managing stock and have it displayed in this case. And I can add to the quantity, have my category set, the product description here, reviews are on. Here's that gallery photo, image that I had uploaded as well. So I could click on that. You can get a closer view of it. Now, the look and feel of some of this stuff here, again, some of this is going to be theme specific, so it could be a little bit different. But the concepts are the same. You have that featured image and the gallery. And there we have it.